my income since Proud Mary. And almost had to walk away from Color Purple. Yes, ma'am. Who said what? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Because you know what? If I don't take a stand, how am I making it easy for Fantasia and Danielle and Hallie and Felicia? Then why am I doing this? If it's all just for me, why are you here? We are to service each other. God is very clever. He put us on this earth and he made us all look different. He made it complicated. We need to figure it out. And we can, and we are. You have to look at the glass as half full. It's always half full.
50 Cent has once again entered the conversation amid the ongoing online dispute involving Taraji P. Henson and Oprah Winfrey. He has been publicly criticizing Oprah, calling her out over long-standing concerns in Hollywood and accusing her of mistreating black actors while building a billion-dollar media empire. This is not the first time 50 Cent has taken aim at Oprah over the years. He has repeatedly voiced support for actors who claim they were unfairly treated in the industry. He previously backed Mo'Nique when she accused Oprah and Tyler Perry of blackballing her after she spoke out about pay disparities following her role in Precious. Now he is once again aligning himself with Taraji P. Henson as controversy circulates around her comments regarding her experience working on The Color Purple. Reports online suggest Taraji expressed frustration over alleged low pay and limited increases in her salary since her work on Proud Mary, which she says was released 6 years ago. She even considered rejecting the role initially, allegedly due to what she felt was an unfair offer. According to the circulating discussion, she believed Oprah, as a fellow black woman and producer, would better understand her concerns and advocate for fair compensation. However, she later felt disappointed by how the situation was handled. The online debate has since escalated, with fans and commentators split over the claims, industry practices, and the broader treatment of black actors in Hollywood productions, sparking ongoing debate across social media platforms worldwide right now today as well.
You had the audacity to say you're thinking about stopping acting. We said, stop talking. Are you thinking about it?
I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost. I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over and over. You get tired. I hear people go, you work a lot. I'll have to. The math ain't mathing. Hearing that my entire career, 20 plus years in the game, and I hear the same thing, and I see what you do for another production, and when it's time for us to go to bed, you don't have any money. They play in your face. And I'm just supposed to smile and grin and bear it and just keep, enough is enough.
Taraji P. Henson later appeared in another interview with Gayle King, where she reportedly opened up about feeling overwhelmed and at one point considered stepping away from acting altogether. In online discussions, some viewers claimed that during the conversation her emotional struggles were not fully acknowledged and that her concerns were downplayed in tone, though these interpretations vary widely. Critics online also pointed out Gayle King's close friendship with Oprah Winfrey, suggesting it may have influenced the direction of the interview. However, others argue the exchange was being misinterpreted and taken out of context through social media commentary.
His cat after Oprah's bestie, Gayle King.
Okay. Named after the Oprah, and your cat's name is?
And Gayle.
Gayle, okay, Gayle.
As all of this online drama continued to circulate, 50 Cent reportedly stepped into the conversation again by reposting a screenshot of an article on his Instagram story and publicly signaling interest in working with Taraji P. Henson. In his caption, he suggested that opportunities had been mishandled and made it clear he was ready to collaborate, adding a blunt and supportive message directed toward her. This moment quickly reignited discussions about his long-standing criticisms of Oprah Winfrey and his ongoing stance regarding how certain entertainers are treated within the industry. However, this was not the first time 50 Cent has publicly challenged Oprah. Their tension reportedly dates back years, rooted in what he perceived as resistance from her toward hip-hop culture and artists like himself during his early rise to fame. At the time, he was transitioning from his background in Queens to mainstream success and believed an appearance on Oprah's platform could have helped reshape his public image in a powerful way. He also felt it would have been meaningful personally, as his grandmother was a longtime fan of Oprah. According to 50 Cent's past comments, the opportunity never materialized, and he interpreted that as a lack of support for his music and cultural background. He has even made controversial remarks in interviews expressing frustration over what he believed was bias against his style and message. Over time, this evolved into a public back and forth, with 50 Cent frequently referencing Oprah in a critical tone and, at one point, even engaging in symbolic trolling on social media that kept their tension in the public eye. Around the same broader discussion, other artists have also voiced criticism. Ludacris previously spoke about an uncomfortable experience during an appearance on Oprah's show while promoting the film Crash. He reportedly felt that the questioning focused more on his music lyrics than the movie itself, leading to frustration that he later addressed publicly in interviews. These overlapping narratives have contributed to the wider online debate about how mainstream platforms engage with hip-hop artists and entertainers, and whether those interactions reflect fair representation or selective scrutiny.
Trying to figure out what was it.
It was a lot of it was certain comments that she had made about, I was there for Crash for the movie.
Yeah.
And basically she said something about not agreeing with my music, but she thought I did great in the movie. And of course I was up there with the whole cast of Crash. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't necessarily feel like that needed to be said. You didn't agree with my music. And even if you don't agree with certain songs I made, say you don't agree with certain songs, don't say you just don't agree with all of my music.
Right.
As if the situation wasn't already controversial enough, some viewers later alleged that parts of Ludacris' responses during his interview were edited. Online claims suggest that certain segments of his answers to Oprah's questions were cut or shortened in a way that, according to critics, made him appear less clear or uncomfortable on screen. However, these interpretations remain part of online debate and are not independently verified, with others arguing that standard editing practices for television interviews were likely being misread.
Actually, basically, she was able to say what she said, and then I had my rebuttal, and when I saw the final show, her comments were in there.
Right, was in there, but yours wasn't in there.
And mine weren't in there, so it just looked like I kind of took it.
And then there was...
Around the same broader period of public discussion, Dave Chappelle also appeared on Oprah Winfrey's show following his highly publicized decision to walk away from a reported $50 million deal with Comedy Central and spend time in Africa. In interviews, Chappelle explained that he had concerns about aspects of the contract and the pressure surrounding his work, and he described choosing distance and privacy for personal reasons at that stage in his life. During the televised conversation, Oprah asked him a series of direct questions about his mindset, decision-making, and the stress he was experiencing at the time. Some viewers later interpreted parts of that exchange as tense, suggesting that he was being pushed to explain himself in ways he was not fully comfortable with. However, others who watched the full interview argue that the discussion was more nuanced, framed around understanding his career break and mental state during a highly unusual moment in his life and career. Over time, online commentary has revisited that interview alongside other high-profile appearances involving entertainers and Oprah, using them as examples in broader debates about how celebrities are questioned in mainstream media settings. These discussions often reflect different interpretations of tone, editing, and intent, rather than a single agreed-upon version of events.
You're saying that you had become increasingly paranoid. Would you say you were paranoid?
Sure. First of all, what is a black man without his paranoia intact? You might win $100 in a poker game and be on the subway. You're gonna look over your shoulder. They just said in everything I had $50 million. That's like making me a marked man.
So did you go to a psychiatric hospital?
In South Africa?
Yeah.
Who?
At some point in the interview...
In later portions of that widely discussed interview, Dave Chappelle spoke about feeling pressured during his time away from Hollywood and described concerns involving the entertainment industry and how he was being handled behind the scenes. Some online discussions have repeated claims that he mentioned being pushed towards psychiatric medication or treatment, though the exact framing and interpretation of those remarks varies depending on the clip being referenced and how it is edited or circulated. During the conversation on Oprah Winfrey's show, Oprah responded by focusing on his emotional state, asking follow-up questions about stress, pressure, and the mental strain he was under at the time. In different versions of the discussion shared online, viewers interpret her response in contrasting ways. Some see it as dismissive, while others view it as an attempt to ground the conversation in his well-being and clarify his experience. Because only selected segments of the interview are often shared on social media, the broader context can become fragmented, which is why interpretations of what was ignored or emphasized tend to differ widely across online commentary.
I'm insane. They were trying to get me to take psychotic medication.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not taking this medicine, man, because I know these people be trying to control you or maybe discredit you. I was afraid, like, you know.
But you were stressed out. That's why.
There's no question. But it's very stressful for someone to constantly walk behind you and say, you're insane.
So as y'all can see, Oprah has a...
What is that connected to? That black man? So no, I was not blackballed. I was whiteballed. By some black who had no balls. Thank you, Mr. Lee Daniels. Thank you, Mr. Tyler Perry. Thank you, Miss Oprah Winfrey. No, baby, I wasn't blackballed. I was by some who had no balls. And see, I know they like to say, Monique, you talk too much. It would me not to say the real shit. It would me not to say the real shit. You are not paying me equally. You are not treating me fairly. So y'all can if I had money.
Online discussions around this topic often bring up long-running tensions in Hollywood, especially involving claims made by Monique about her experience after the film Precious. Monique has publicly alleged that she was underpaid for the role and later faced industry backlash after refusing to participate in certain promotional efforts without what she believed was fair compensation. According to her account, this led to strained relationships within parts of the industry and reduced opportunities afterward. She has also spoken in interviews about feeling that both Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey played roles in how she was perceived professionally during that period, although both have offered different perspectives on the situation in past statements and interviews. Over time, the disagreement has become a widely debated topic, with supporters on all sides interpreting events differently based on personal accounts and media coverage. As the conversation spread online, figures like 50 Cent have occasionally expressed support for Monique and others who have raised concerns about fairness and treatment in the entertainment industry. However, much of the broader narrative circulating on social media blends verified statements, personal opinions, and speculation, which makes it difficult to separate confirmed facts from ongoing interpretation and debate.